Alright, so as we are now heading into 2025 with Agatha All Along that literally concludes tomorrow at the time of recording this video, but we have the official release slate schedule for all the Disney Plus shows coming out from Marvel Studios, and that is from live action and animation. But even with these release dates that are revealed, again, these are rumors, so take it with a grain of salt. But even though this is coming from Disney, and even what they're putting out in 2025, and so that's what we do for you guys in this video. It's just going over all these release dates for these upcoming Disney Plus shows that Marvel Studios is putting out next year, and tell you guys what we can expect from these projects and if it's going to be any good, especially for streaming format and so much more. And so if you're new, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. But now, let's get into it. And now, with these release dates that are revealed, again, this is rumored, again, I think this is coming, like, from, like, Disney themselves, like, and even for what they have in mind, and even though with these release dates that are listed in order, it's coming from the Twitter account, Nexus Point News, and they listed the release dates. And so here we go. First, we have Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and that is coming out January 29th, 2025. And then next we have is Eyes of Wakanda, that is going to be coming out August 6th of 2025. And next we have Marvel Zombies coming out October 2025, which makes sense for this spooky season, because even though that's going to be an animation, so it's going to be fun as well. And then with the Wonder Man series, it's going to be coming out December 2025, and so that means with Wonder Man, it's been in development, and they filmed it, and now it's not going to be coming out until the end of next year. And so even with this whole release date, and that's like rumored for now, but until it is actually confirmed, I think what we could definitely look forward to is like good television from Marvel Studios. And even though it's going to have the Marvel Television banner, and I think it'll give like audiences a better opportunity to view this as an experience. This is somehow like disconnected from the broader big picture of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I think it's sort of connected in like some sort of way. That's what Brad Winterbaum from Marvel Television had to say. But even with this release date schedule, we also have Daredevil Born Again coming out March 4th, 2025, and even with Ironheart, which is coming out in 2025, but not the official month or day that it is coming out, so that's really concerning to me. And now, from what we can expect from these shows, is of course we want good television from Marvel Studios, especially as Marvel Studios is definitely spacing out these release dates in order to avoid a quantity and just putting out too much with fans that can't keep up with it all, especially for whatever stuff that Marvel is putting out. But even with these logos that were officially revealed from Marvel Studios themselves, these are official logos, and they have like release dates attached, especially with the month and year. So we pretty much know that with this schedule, I mean, it is rumored, but it is sort of confirmed in a way. And now, the first thing I want to talk about is Eyes of Wakanda. And even though that I forgot that this show was even a thing, even though for what we can expect from the show, it's described as a 4-part animated anthology series that follows warriors throughout Wakandan history who are tasked with traveling the world to retrieve vibranium artifacts. And so, even though this is a 4-part series, so it's basically going to be like 4 episodes, maybe because I liked Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever that introduced the world to Wakanda, and there's everything that has been inside of it, especially with vibranium, especially with all the technology that they use. And it's just going to be a very interesting, and even what Brad Winterbaum had to say about the show, and then he said on Marvel's official podcast, he said, Eyes of Wakanda, more than any other show we're doing in animation that ties directly into the MCU, this is a story about Wakandan history. It's produced by Ryan Coogler, directed by Todd Harris. I think that's really cool. It's going to be more like anything that they've ever done. Of course, it's going to be connected to the MCU, but I don't think if it's needed, but I think it will definitely be good information to know about Wakanda. And even though with Riri Williams that was introduced in Wakanda Forever, I'm glad that they're continuing their show and so much more. And next, so I want to talk about the Wonder Man series because even though it's going to be labeled as a Marvel television show, and because even though that we were introduced to the whole side of Marvel television, of course, with Agatha all along, but even with Wonder Man, I think I'm glad that the show got a release date because people thought that the show was going to be scrapped. But I think I'm glad that it is coming out, but not until the end of next year, December of 2025. And I feel like what they said, like I think that the show is going to be less connected from the big picture of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So general audiences that like haven't seen an MCU movie or show before can directly go into this without knowing any history about the character, because even though that's what the MCU has struggled with recently, and even though it has become homework, but even with these shows that people can enjoy, especially on their own time, without having to be like catch up on so much. But I think it is genius, and I can see with I think Wonder Man is like a movie star. But I think they're definitely going to explore that within his character, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be unlike anything they've ever done in Marvel Studios television. So I just hope that it's any good, and I hope that like with the character, and I hope that the story is actually good. And now, with the rest of the shows that I want to talk about on this list is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Look, I don't know if I have interest in this show anymore, because even though with the show that was in development since like 2021, and animation style for what the show is going to be about and what it's going to be like, but we haven't gotten any updates about the show yet, because it was going to be called the Spider-Man Freshman Year, but they changed that. But now that it's going to be officially coming out, but I think I don't have interest in it whatsoever. But I'm definitely being curious, going with an optimistic mind, just if it could be any good. But of course it's gonna be within like the MCU. It's gonna be about the origin story of Peter Parker and stuff like that. So I'm curious for how they tackle this show in animation, especially coming from Marvel Studios. And like next up is Daredevil Born Again. Like I can't wait for the show. It's going to be reviving the Netflix Daredevil series. I'm excited to see Daredevil and Kingpin back in the show, especially with Foggy and Karen. And this is supposed to be a continuation. Of course, this went into an overhaul and it started completely from scratch. But for what I'm also glad is that they're following the theme of the Netflix show, and I really hope that it is TVMA, just like the Netflix show has. But even with the MCU and Disney Plus shows now these days, like people are getting worried about it. But we'll see until we get that official teaser if it's going to be any good. Plus, we know that John Berthel's Punisher is going to be making his return in that show as well. But even with Ironheart, and that's the one I don't know if I'm the most concerned about, because that show wrapped filming in 2022, so that was years ago, but they showed footage of it at D23 of this year, and I'm glad that it's coming out, but we have the release year but not the month that it is coming out. So I'm thinking like, yeah, this could definitely explore more of Riri Williams and the technology as she is using, like Iron Man armor, and Anthony Ramos is going to be like the Hood, or like some main villain being introduced. But I think this could be a good show, but we'll just have to wait and see for what happens. Yeah, so based on everything that we're seeing so far, I think we're in for a good treat. And one last thing that I will say here is that even though these are technically rumored release dates from Marvel Studios, they are not yet confirmed. But I think this is exciting for what we're about to get in 2025 with all these shows coming out from Marvel Studios. And the one last thing that I will suspect, and I just hope it is good television, especially with audiences like tuning into the MCU. And I think that they might like what we're heading into. But we'll see what happens from here on out. But that's gonna do it for this video. Just let me know in the comments below. And out of all these shows, which one are you excited for the most? And what are your thoughts on these release dates? Just let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe and turn the notification bell for future videos. Also follow all my social medias over to the link down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.